on that basis, you are witnessing two very different approaches. Saudi Arabia has an energy strategy and an energy policy. They're very thoughtful about what it is that they can do. Their fear is that spare capacity disappears and you don't have the ability to respond. They've been hearing for the last 3 months that the world is going into a recession, that COVID reaction in China is impeding the growth of demand for oil. Everything we had anticipated about Russian oil being diminished because of the sanctions has not happened yet. So they're looking at the situation now with the world going into a recession and saying we have to build that spare capacity. Because we cannot afford to have prices completely collapse. On the other side, unfortunately, we don't have a strategy in the US. We have knee-jerk reactions to different situations. So we started by banning drilling on federal lands a year and a half ago. It's symbolic. It didn't mean anything. It's simply symbolic. And then when we saw that we actually needed our oil, we shifted and said, no, we were kidding. You can go ahead and drill again. We don't understand yet the basics and the economics of what it takes to drill in the United States. And it's a moving target. Oil production in the US is suffering the same way as the rest of the world, from inflation, from supply chain constraints, and from higher interest rates. You have to take all this into consideration, and you have to ask yourself, if I set a floor $68 or $70 by which I replenish my SPR, is that sufficient to encourage American companies to drill? And it's an ongoing work. It may be sufficient today, but not tomorrow. So you have to do this. You have to have an energy strategy, and you have to implement it with long-term goals in mind. If you're looking only at short-term consequences with gasoline prices up or down, that is not a strategy. We in the United States have a best-selling car that is the F-150 that gets 16 miles to the gallon, half of what a normal sedan would take in terms of gasoline consumption. We are wasting our resource because we have no strategy.